Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to you too. In the last video, I went over the basics of progress billing, but then I wanted to take it a step further because a specific came out today, and so I wanted to go ahead and share that. I often use this training account to test things, so this is something I thought would be of interest, especially if you do build outs, new construction, work with the GC, anytime where you're going to need to do progress billing. And in this case, I'm going to take a progress billing where it's kind of billed out in chunks. So this first item, I call it my blanket. It's my cover. It is what I want everybody to see, and it's the blank. Okay, and I just set it up like this. It's 0. Okay, and once I get going, I basically clone that and I set up an item to be the component of this, and it would basically be of those pieces. So this is the next, or the first payment. It's at the contract signing, like we're asking for 50%. Okay, and then the next one is we're asking for 25% to due at start. Okay, and then that's what it is, and then the 25% due at completion. Okay, so that is what it looks like here, and you can see I'm asking for 50% because it's going to work out. I'm going to show you how we would present this to the client. Okay, all the steps of the way. Okay, I think I wasn't very clear. So first, when we present it, you can see here, I like to see it as one item. So this is what it would look like. Okay, actually I need to revise one of these. Let me go back. Hang on, let me change this one. Yeah, I moved this when I was testing it. So you want everything at 50% because that's how this is going to work out. So all of these are at 50%, okay, build or proposal. So when we submit the proposal to the client, here we are, here's the total contract, and they know that they have to pay the 25% upon approval, right? Approval of this proposal or contract signing. Okay, actually let me revise that a little bit. At acceptance of proposal signing. Okay, this is the commencement of the project on site, and actually I wanted to copy and paste that, and then the last will be final completion. So that's that contract. And I'm just jumping ahead and going to the next item this way. Okay, that works, right? Oh, final delivery. Yeah, I'll put that on that last one. Okay, so now that works, I'm ready to give this to the client. Usually we give it at the walkthrough, but here we are. We're basically, this is the contract. This is actually the contract they proposed. And if they accept it, they need to pay the 25K, right? Step 1. So they accepted it, okay? And you can see that it is broken up in components, but they accepted it. And I want to go into money in, and I did already receive the money, so I'm just going ahead and applying it, okay? And in this case, we're saying the 25K. You can see here that you can apply it straight to this item, or you can do, like what I'm going to do, is apply it for the deposit portion, okay, because it is 50% of everything, okay, regardless of the way it's split, okay, because it's just for how we want to present it and how we want to process this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this. So, okay, so now I mean, for those of us that want to go ahead and send them and say, okay, well, we've applied your payment, thank you for your payment. Here you go. Here's the proposal. You've paid the 50%, and we'll get going. Okay. So now we're going ahead and sourcing and getting things together and spending time and efforts towards this, right? And now, it's time to go ahead and start or go on site. Okay. That's what we're calling it, like get access to the place or whatever, because it just doesn't happen in one day, right? So now we're going to ask for this 25%. So what I do on the back end of things is I go in here, and I don't invoice it because of the way I'm setting this up. So instead, I just go in here and I change this to 100%. Okay, because we're asking that's where we're at. Okay, so I just go into that second component, which is really the first, because that first one is a blanket, right? So this is the first one, and I'm going to save and close that. Okay, stay with me. And then if you will go back in and look at the proposal, we can now send it, because you don't need to invoice all these different things, right? And create invoices all this time. So this is what I would do. I now go in and send them that. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and go on site. So we're going ahead and requesting this next 25% payment. Okay, here it is. This is what it is. I send it to the client. They say, great, they pay it. We get on the project. We're going in there and doing our thing. Okay, they paid us, so I'm going in here to post that. Here. Right one, yeah. Okay. So. Okay, here we go. So here's the next piece of it. There we go. Posting that. You can see there's no more funds available, but it is applied there. So I'm going to go back out here. And now what we see when we open this, because we can send the proposal and we can say, okay, thank you, here we are. And we go in and we're working. And then all this time, the funds that we've received is not counted as income, okay? And I say this all the time. Studio doesn't recognize income or expense until you invoice the client, okay? That doesn't mean that you invoice them and they have a balance due. It means that's the last and final step here in Studio, okay? So now where I'm going with this is because they don't technically owe us. You can see it says, there's not an amount due. That's because they've paid the amount that's due up until now. Okay, it's now time to invoice for the remaining balance. And if they didn't, let's just say they paid this already and they were paid up, well, you still have to invoice it. Okay, because that's how Studio Designer recognizes the income well, in this case, there's no expense, but there it is. Okay, so this is what we have to do, and I'm going to go ahead and invoice that. Okay, and I don't want to show all items because this has everything, because remember, we're doing the first component. Okay, and this is the last and final due upon final delivery. Okay, and it was for this 25. So I'm gonna, let's go back in here, and I will just go ahead and do we'll do, I'm trying to think how I want to do this, 25%. And I always name my invoices. It makes for great organization. It takes 2 seconds, especially because if you're looking for things, you want things to be labeled. Okay, these aren't labeled because they're voids, but I'll get them out of there. So basically, I like to label everything so we can find things, and you can see here that at least now they can see that when we send it to the client. Again, we want to only use first component, and I should have made it default, but there we are. We can change the image if we want it to. I don't like to see the quantity, but that's what it is for now. Maybe we'll do it like that. I guess all of them show it, right? None of these. So you can play with that for those of you that don't know, and pick a different format. I don't know these ones by heart. Maybe. Oh no, it's not a time billing. Okay, let's see. Darn it. I guess we'll leave it at that. Call it a day, but here you go, and they'll pay the remaining balance. Okay, and if there's any questions about that, let me know. The reason why there were no expenses, and let me be clear, because we have other things. We're the general contractor on this. That's why. So if you have any other questions other than that, definitely leave them in the comments or reach out. Thank you.